This is He Knows His Sport, bringing you that heat and that fire. This is the problem with people, man. They are prisoners of the moment and prisoners of the second. Let me say that again. They are prisoners of the moment and prisoners of the second. How the hell did Andy Ruiz skip past Deontay Wilder? How did that happen? It's because you have a Mexican community fan base that want their cake and want to eat it too. They will be the first ones to tell you, hey man, after one victory, you can't put this guy on the top 5 pound for pound list. Or after one victory, you can't say this guy is number 1. But as soon as it's a Mexican fighter that does that, oh, he's number 1. So we're going to sit here and gloss over the fact that Deontay Wilder is 40-0-1. He only has one draw, but in 40 fights or 41 fights, 40 of them have been decided by KO or TKO stoppage. We're not going to look at that. We're just going to gloss over that. But we're going to look at Andy Ruiz, who has a record of 33-1. His record doesn't even stand in the same breath with Deontay Wilder. Go look at his opponents and go look at Wilder's opponents. His best opponent, his best 2 opponents on his resume are Joseph Parker and Anthony Joshua. That's it. We know now that Anthony Joshua wasn't what we thought he was. Well, I knew that all along, and anybody that's a bomb squad, they knew that as well too. But everyone else that was an AJ fanboy or AJ fanboy slurper, I guess they didn't get that memo. But that's neither here nor there. The point that I'm trying to make is those are the best 2 guys on his resume. Let's look at Deontay Wilder's resume. He has Tyson Fury, the guy who actually is legitimately the unified champion, the unified heavyweight champion. He never lost his belts. He just kind of took some time off because he was having some mental issues and some personal issues, right? That he needed to sort out and he needed to deal with. But it's not like Anthony Joshua took the belts from him. But he had a stalemate. Deontay Wilder had a stalemate with that guy, right? Let's look at Luis Ortiz, a hard, rugged fighter that for a while in the heavyweight division, he was considered a boogeyman. Now everyone wants to shit on him and say, oh, he's too old. But he's a Cuban fighter. We all know Cuban fighters have excellent pedigree. They have good amateur backgrounds, and they can fucking fight. When it comes to the sweet science, possibly Cuban fighters have the best fundamentals in boxing. That can be argued with the best of them, because of the fact that these guys know how to scrap and they know how to box. He was in there with that dude. But we're going to gloss over that. We're going to say, oh, Deontay Wilder, he fought nothing but bumps. Okay. All right. All y'all got to do is look at Deontay Wilder's resume, look at Andy Ruiz's resume, and go down the list of all of the fighters they have fought. And you guys will see why Deontay Wilder is way more legit at the heavyweight division than Andy Ruiz Jr. Now, as stands, Andy Ruiz Jr. still gets his credit because he is now a multiple belt heavyweight champion. No one's taking that away from him. But Deontay Wilder has had multiple after multiple after multiple title defenses, and he has reigned supreme and victorious. Andy Ruiz has not even had a title defense yet. All he did was win a belt, which was the biggest upset in boxing history. Hence, they call it an upset because he wasn't even expected to win in the first place. You dodo heads, you brain full of mush, and you brainwash followers. He was not expected to win that fight. At least the odds weren't in his favor. The odds looked like his boxing record. That's how bad it was prior to us knowing what the results are now. So he has to have a rematch against Anthony Joshua. And he needs to look equally, if not more impressive. And then he needs to have another title defense before we can start legitimizing this cat. Yeah, and it needs to be against another elite opponent. He works with Al Heyman, so I don't see why Al Heyman being his advisor, he won't be able to make fights for Andy Ruiz. If Andy Ruiz, that is, can beat Anthony Joshua in a rematch. Folks need to see this, man. The man has not even won a title defense. let alone he hasn't even had these multiple belts for a while. But we're going to sit here and say that he's the number one heavyweight in the division. We're going to sit here and gloss over Tyson Fury, like Tyson Fury has not delivered the goods time in and time out. We're going to sit here and gloss over Deontay Wilder, like Deontay Wilder has not delivered the goods time in and time out. Come on, folks. This is what I mean when I say people are prisoners of the moment and prisoners of the second. If we're being real and if we keep keeping everything in its proper perspective, the two best heavyweights, in my estimation, I have a Deontay Wilder number 1, Tyson Fury number 2, and then because Andy Ruiz won, he is number 3. That's the truest and most properest order right now at the heavyweight division. Anyone that sees it otherwise, you need to get your head checked. That's just the truth. We're not going to sit here and be prisoners of the moment, prisoners of the second, and say that a guy who just got multiple belts is the number one heavyweight. To do that, it just shows how ignorant you are. Or it shows the fact that you are filled with lies and bias, and you're only going to go with whatever false or one-trick pony narrative that you want to go by. That's the truth. Folks don't know how to use the true boxing eye test. Folks always want to use some ultra fanboyism or some ultra girlism bullshit when the obvious is right in front of you. You cannot take away what Deontay Wilder has done time and time again. You can't take away what Tyson Fury has done time and time again. These are the two top heavyweights. And the reason why they get the respect is because they actually fought each other. When Anthony Joshua failed to do it with any one of them. So Andy Ruiz, you get the interim respect because you beat Anthony Joshua. But can you get my continued respect by you having title defense wins after title defense wins? Tyson Fury has been able to show this. Deontay Wilder has been able to show this. The question is, can you show this? And if folks are not asking these questions and they're just going by, this narrative that, oh, this guy just won, blah, 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 then they're not looking at stuff for what it is. They're getting caught up in their feelings and they're getting caught up in their emotions. I tell people, self-deception is the worst form of deception there is because you're deceiving yourself. You're not deceiving nobody else. You're deceiving yourself. And that's the worst. And that's what's going on right now. Folks want to have their cake. They want to eat it too. I said it before. Where was Oscar de la Hoya and Canelo Alvarez? Why are they all in this man's defense? They weren't checking for this dude, man. Let's keep it real. Let's keep it a buck. Let's call a spade a fucking spade, folks. Let's keep that thing 100. They weren't checking for this dude. Now they all in his ass. The president of Mexico, he didn't fucking know who Andy Ruiz was before this man won the title. But now he checking for him. Come on, man. Folks are fake as fuck. And if Andy Ruiz and his team are paying attention, they can see there's a bunch of fake love going around here. And if I got to be the cold-hearted, unadulterated, and cutthroat truth teller to tell you this shit, so fucking be it. My style is not a style that sugarcoats. And it's not a style that makes friends. And it's not a style that's a fan favorite. But it's a style that does not tell you what you want to hear. It's a style that tells you what you fucking need to hear. The truth hurts, motherfuckers. But guess what? After it hurts, it sets your fucking ass free. This is Hino's Sport. Checking out.